Don't be getting her to buy what you got there on that table. I'm gonna tell you, I tried to buy me a fishing reel that had a real pulled fish in like that. She wouldn't let me do it. So
She
I just want
wouldn't.
you to know
If you can't get the fishing reel, she can't get the spinner, huh?
Uh-huh.
that's right.
Well,
She's got a four.
I don't push anybody to buy anything.
Uh, yeah, but it's, for some reason she's got it already. You know,
I've got too
she's got a
much.
14-inch wheel.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
Well, I have a
handle
nice
this
little
one
spinning
around.
wheel too, but I can't spin on it like I used to because of my back and my hips. So
Yeah,
I'm grateful to have these, but I'm not trying to talk her into it.
I was
I'm just
watching
using
you.
what I can.
You know,
Hi, Mindy.
I just want to make some party yarn.
I was watching you mill it in there, and they it does a fine job.
It
Thank
does.
you. It is a
Um,
nice machine. I'm really happy
Yeah.
to have it. I feel blessed. And I couldn't have gotten it if Hannah hadn't gone halvesies with me.
Spend her allowance. I
Oh,
declare.
is that a
Yeah.
joke?
Now she didn't help me buy
Spending her
these, but that
allowance.
that drum carter she helped me buy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, I love my blender board, and
oh,
this
it's
is
a cute little
felted,
bee.
felted. I felted this together,
It's adorable.
and then this is Letty. This is Dana's dog. I'm going to put. I've got the eyes in the basket over here. I've got to get the eyes out. Give
Oh,
it
he's
some eyes.
cute.
I'm going to give him away, but he's a keeper.
He is. He's adorable. It could be your little craft room mascot.
Yeah, yeah. And see,
One that you don't have to feed or tell to be quiet.
no, I don't. He won't talk back much. And
No.
and Becca made me a beehive wind chime over here. If you can see it hanging
Nope, we
right
can't see it. You'll have to
there.
lift up.
Let's see.
Yeah, we can sort of see it. I can see that it's a beehive.
Yeah, it's a little beehive, and all these little bees are underneath it.
Oh, that's cute.
And let me show. Let me put a something behind it. Let's see.
Yeah, very cute. We're too
But
far away to see much detail, but
but she felted that for me and surprised me with it.
that is adorable. Very
And
sweet
I'm going to
friend.
hang him over here somewhere on it. I'll hang him up there. That's what I'll do.
Well, I spent yesterday from 8:30 in the morning until 3 o'clock doing a spinning demonstration and karting demonstration
I saw it.
at
What?
our what do you, well it's the retirement place
Oh,
that we do our guild meetings at, our weaving guild meetings.
oh,
So
okay,
we were
okay.
all there doing this demonstration. We had looms and spinning wheels and
Oh,
um,
neat.
it was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of people. Of course, it's a pretty big little community, so there are a lot of people that live there. They have independent housing as well as the apartments, as well as nursing facilities. So they've got everything there, and we had a lot of people stop by. Luckily, they stopped by in small groups, so you actually felt like you could visit with them.
Yeah, like
Um,
a little fair
yeah.
going on.
Hi, Linda.
Uh,
Hi, Sherry. Glad y'all
I
are here.
I did watch your spinning videos when you while you were spinning your on the video
Oh,
demonstration.
uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So,
this was in person. Anyway,
yes,
I
yes.
started, these are the things I was spinning while I was there. And so I thought I would work on those some. And then I've also got um some other stuff that I've spun. What I would did in that where I showed several different ways to spin that bat. I've got the
Yeah,
rest of that I need to spin. And then I also have some things that need to be plied. So I thought I could play with different things.
yes, yes.
Teresa says spin ladies, and then she says sin, but I'm sure she meant spin ladies spin because she's not going to encourage us to sin.
I don't think she would.
No, I don't think she would because she loves us too much.
She does.
Anyway, I'm going to show you. This is the bat I made. Well, I got stuff in the way. I only have so much space. But this is the bat I made, and I took apart a um a dyed roving and blended it into this bat. And that's what I'm spinning on this little spinner here.
That
So
is, yeah. Okay.
that's fun. And the other thing I did was take some fleece that it had been washed, but that was all. Look how stretchy this is. This is such a springy fleece. And I made a bat out of it, and I'm spinning it over here. It's the light colored brown. Let me see if I can. It seems like my camera's tilted where it's looking crookedy at things. Um, and then one of my friends there gave me this while I was there. This is the dark that I'm spinning here, and this is Navajo churro wool. And so I'm alternating these, and then I'm gonna ply it with itself, and it'll have some barber pulling and striping and stuff going on. So I think that'll be fun.
Yes, I love the colors. Those shades are pretty.
Yeah, and they're natural. That's really
Yeah,
cool that they're
yeah,
both
they are
natural
natural.
colors. I like that.
Hmm.
So so
And
I'm gonna work on both of these things.
uh they're I don't know. Would you consider that roving?
This is roving.
Hmm.
Definitely. This is a bat, but if you it's a more roving style bat just because the
Pretty much going the same direction. Yeah.
well they do go they're trying to go the same direction, but they're still crisscrossed because the fiber's so short.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
so it's more roving than top. Let's put it that way. It's closer to roving than to a top, which is everything lined up the same direction.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay.
She says, "Spin, lady, spin." I love the one where you showed so many ways to spin that diagonal. Looked really fun, and the texture on
Yeah.
that yarn is going to be so much fun to work with. I think it will be, Teresa. The
Mhm.
diagonal was not fun. It would not go diagonal,
Well,
but it was interesting to try. Hi,
I
Julie.
bet I was thinking if you had all the same kind of fiber, you, from all the fibers were the same, you might have done a better job with the diagonal.
That's true, but there wouldn't have been any reason to do it diagonal if they were all the same.
Well, I mean different
Well,
shades,
the same, yeah,
different
different colors
colors.
of the same type of fiber. I get what you're
Yeah,
saying now. And
same
yes,
shit.
that's probably true. That's probably true.
And it might not work for all kinds, all evidently it doesn't work for silk and some of the
Well,
other
either
things.
that or I just don't, that was the only time I've ever done it. So
And
I
it might
haven't
have
had
been
any
a
practice.
practice
It might have
thing.
been user error.
And I would have stripped it and add and continued to strip little strips and put two or three of the collars together as tinier strips. I
Yeah.
thought about that.
Yeah. And that was another way you could do it. Um,
No right or
but
wrong.
no, no right or wrong. Just what depends on the outcome you're looking for. And
Yeah,
I wasn't looking for a particular outcome because I just wanted to show a bunch of different ways to do it. So
yeah.
we'll see
Yeah.
what it looks like when I get finished with it.
Okay.
No more bedspreads for Julie. She hurt herself getting out of the bedspread.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Julie. We love you. We
how
hope you
that
get better
happened?
quick.
That
Sore
was
left leg and the left side of her neck. She fell, getting her foot caught in the
oh
bedspread.
goodness gracious.
Well, we're just glad that you didn't hurt yourself worse than that. She's going to change it for a smaller one. There you go. There you go.
I took a
Okay.
king size bedspread. It was cotton and quilted, and I cut it in half, and I have two nice covers for your lap in the living on each couch. They were perfect for the couch for one person to to cover up in when you're watching a movie or something.
Yeah.
And I did that with a king size quilt. If it's cuttable, that's an option. It matched my
Right.
living room. So here we go.
These
Here we go.
two fibers are so different. This Navajo churro, I don't know if y'all can see that. You see the white in it?
Yes.
That white is the guard hairs. So this is a wool they use to make rugs. That's mostly what Navajo churro is used for, is to make rugs. Um, and this is a real springy. This would make a great sweater because it holds a lot of air
Yeah,
and it wouldn't be very heavy, but it would be warm.
it would be. Yeah.
But I'm going to use them together, and I'll probably crochet a hot pad or something with them, something, not something to wear.
Yeah.
But this will make this stronger, and this will make this softer. So we'll see. That's my thought on it. But mostly, I just like the colors, that they're both natural and they're so different.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
like that. So I'm going to start out working on this.
Well, I'm going to try to get the twist going in this one. Give myself plenty of room, and I'm just going to go by faith that the twist in this lead thread is going to twist onto the stuff I have in my hand, so that it
Yeah,
will
just be
spin.
really fluff out the parts you're putting it next to, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm going to try to
If
use
you
more
have it,
twist.
kind of fluffy like this, and you just lay it on there,
Yes, I've seen you
and
do that,
that that'll work. Yeah,
and I said I've got to try that. I've got to work. And once I get the hang of it, you won't be able to get me to stop.
there you go.
I just know it.
That's what Joe's afraid of. He's afraid you're going to fall down another rabbit hole and want all
Well,
the
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. Well, one of my problems is I started receiving my Social Security last year from, I worked, for 27 years, and I
Yeah,
get Social Security, and from working, and it's and he made the mistake that I could have it,
that could be your fun money, huh?
my play money, and
Yeah.
so right now I'm saving up for a plug mill, which is about, I don't know, it's probably $1,000 or more, a plug mill for clay.
Right.
And what you do is you put clay in this pug mill, and it pressurizes it and gets all the air out of it, and it pushes it out into a workable uh, lump of clay, and you can go strictly to your wheel with it without all the kneading. And then the kneading is what's wearing me out. I can't do the kneading
Oh yes,
of the
that's hard work.
clay.
That's
Yes, it
hard
is.
work. It's like kneading dough, but way harder.
Yes. And all
Well,
of
is
my
that
clay I have.
different or the same thing as the extruder?
The extruder is smaller, and it's not pressurized. You just push it by hand, and you pull out little tubes
Okay.
or strands,
Yeah.
like you're going to do some hand building or use them for handles on your cups and things
Right.
like
Well, that's
that.
what I thought. I thought it was two different
And if
things.
you're doing mass production, the extruder with that you do by hand is handy, and that alone is 300.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have the pug, and then I want a slab roller, which would roll it out flat, and then I can do some molding bowls, and that's
Right.
fun. And
Yes. I've done some slab work. That is a lot of fun.
I think I would do more. And then I use a lot of cookie cutters and things like that. And I could use the slab roller. Right now, I'm just using a rolling pin and doing things by hand. But I did make a couple little bowls, but I'm not real proud of them. And I couldn't work with the clay very well. It was lumpy, and I could feel the lumps when I was going around trying to pull up on it. And I said, nope, this clay needs to be wedged more, wedge it.
Right.
And I didn't wedge it enough. And
You need a young, strong assistant.
yeah, and um,
Don't know where to find one of those, but that's what you need.
yeah, and Joe doesn't have time to come in and do all that for me, or he
Right.
would. But no, I'm not. I think I'm going to buy me a pug machine and just bite the bullet. I've been looking online. There's so many potters in Florida. It's ridiculous. They're a dime a dozen, and you can find used things on the marketplace all the time,
Yeah.
but they go fast. They go fast, and you have to like check it every morning and every night if you want to be first in line to get it.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
makes sense.
and I had a slab roller and an extruder. Now the slab roller table is worth that one that she had was worth definitely worth more than $600, and you can buy a small one tabletop size for 600. And this was a standalone one, so it was way worth. It was more $800 or $900 slab roller, and then she had the extruder and all those parts laying on the floor, and she said slab roller table for sale for $300, and all of the tubes and all of the metal on the floor. She didn't know what it was. The extruder was worth 300, and then the slab roller was worth another 1,000. So she didn't know what she had, and I almost had it. I said, "Is it available?" And she said yes. And before I got to that yes, I had gone to my sister's to visit her for her birthday. Come back home, somebody else had already bought it.
Yeah.
So if I had yes, is it available? I
I
want
want
it.
it if it's
She
available.
would
Yeah.
have held it for me. I know she would have. And you have to do, first come first serve. And
Yeah.
he didn't even have that person didn't even have the money until the weekend. And I said, "Oh, I have cash in hand, man." I said, "I'm
Yeah.
so sad. I'm so sad. It was so worth it."
Oh,
And I started to overbid, and I said, "No, that wouldn't be the right thing to do. I could have offered her $400 for it, and maybe, but she might not have taken it because she promised it. So, but I didn't do that. I did not do that. But I thought about it. So I'm a bad girl for thinking that. But
no,
uh,
you're human. You're not
but I
bad. You're just
didn't, and
human.
I knew the difference between right and wrong. So I said, "Nope, another one will come," and I would have had to driven 2.5 hours to go get it each way because she was on the other side on the Gulf. And so maybe God's going to put one over here where I live, and
Yeah.
I'll find me one.
Or
I,
somebody who needs your money worse than she did, or who
that's
knows?
right. That's right. You never know. And
Okay.
I might have to pay a little bit more for it, but that's good. And yeah, the slab roller, if you pay, $800 for a slab roller, and then they charge you for shipping. Whoa.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Mhm. And the closest supplier of supplies is about 45 minutes or an hour away from me. So that actually sells the slab tables and the big things. I don't even think Daytona has a pottery shop. It's over here in Sanford by the airport. But anyway, I do love to do that. All right, concentration, Beth.
Get your mind off the pottery and on the spinning wheel. But pottery's fun too, so I can understand. I've done just enough to know that I would love it, but
Yeah,
not I haven't, I keep thinking I'm gonna go to and I will probably eventually go take another class at Amarillo College.
yeah,
The nice thing about that is, that they have the big equipment and the clay and the glazes and the kiln and all of that, and
yeah.
all I have to do is pay for the class and bring my
They'll
little
make you a
tools.
couple of pots and you'll be over your spell.
Yeah.
But that's
Well,
what I
last
did.
time I did it, I gave everything I made away.
Well, see, that's my problem.
And I'm
And
like, "Oh, I wish I'd kept something for myself?"
yeah, that's me. And I said this time, and I did every time. And this was, I think, 2 years ago when I did it in 20. And I made everybody in my chat room a cross and mailed it to them. And that's when we had all those little boxes. If it
Yes,
shipped
I
to
got
six,
one.
okay. And it was
I
like
have one.
the boxes were like $5 to ship at that time. Well, now they're like $10 to
Yes.
ship. And even though I know people would probably pay the shipping, I didn't want to at that time I didn't want to ask. And it was my gift to everybody else. But which was not a problem at that time. But now shipping is a issue.
Yes.
Because you
It's
can't
just
do it.
ridiculous.
It is, and I wished, the way times are these days, I wish it wasn't so expensive, but uh, can't. There's no way they're going to go less.
No, it'll never go back down.
And shipping, and with Temu, we're never, and Amazon, we're never going to stop shipping now. And of course,
Yeah.
that's UPS. That's not. Although my Temu came in the mailbox,
Say my Amazon and Temu both have come both ways,
Yes,
depending on where they're
yes,
getting it to you from.
yes. Hi, say hi, Abby. You're on TV.
Hi, Abby.
You're on TV. Will you sit for mom? Sit. Sit,
Oh, what
good
a good
girl.
girl.
Good girl. She does it when I close my hand. She sits, and when I push my hand down, she usually lays down. But I haven't worked with her for a long time. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. She's not gonna do it. She's giving
they
me what
have selective memory too.
Yes, they do. You got to keep working with them.
It's like,
But
well, I remember
but
that, but
Abby
I
was
think
a
I can
therapy
fool you into
dog.
thinking I don't remember.
Yeah, Abby was a therapy dog. When I was working, she for 5 years we went to nursing homes, and she was a working therapy dog,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
she visited. She visited everybody. Everybody loved little Abby. That was fun. But when we came down here, I tried to get on with hospice, and they wanted me to put her through puppy school again, through dog school again. And it turned out that the person that was over hospice, visiting dogs, she was a
Uh-huh.
dog trainer. And guess who got the training money?
Of course.
She wanted
Yeah.
she wanted her to go through another training course, and before they would accept her as a visiting dog. And I said, but she's already a visiting dog. I have a certificate from the American Kennel Club that has the gold seal on it, but
Yeah.
apparently you can buy those by the box full.
I have heard that. I have heard that
Yeah.
if you look, it won't take you very long to find out you can just stick something on your dog and make it a service dog.
Yes,
And I'm like, that is so sad because
yes.
the real ones are heroes and they deserve to be recognized. And not every dog has been through that kind of training. That's extensive stuff.
Yeah, it cost me, I think it cost me $250 to
And
get
that
her
was a while
trained.
ago. No
And that
telling what
was,
it
yeah,
would
about
cost
that was
now.
20 years ago. Yeah. But I just thought it was a little greedy on her part to, but it gave them assurance, that the dogs they were hiring were going to be, perfect for the job. And but Abby doesn't hardly even bark. I mean, unless you're playing with her.
Yeah.
And they don't even bark at the mailman or the delivery guy. They bark at Joe coming in, but they won't bark at anybody else.
Because
Totally
they're excited
opposite.
to see Joe.
Totally opposite. And it's a game. Now it's a game.
Yeah. Julie, when we put Sparrow in boot camp, when they were teaching him, to walk on a leash and be good in public, they took him to the hardware store, to Home Depot and Lowe's.
Yeah, yeah.
And in fact, when we went to visit him, um, we met him at Lowe's, and he didn't know what to do. He was so excited to see us. He was like, "Oh, I know I'm supposed to do this and this, but those are my people." It was quite a test for him,
Yes,
and
yes.
he didn't pass very good, but because he just
Oh,
was too excited to see us.
well, but surely he's a little bit better.
Oh, he's much better now. He is much better. But he still gets all excited. He's just young. He just needs some more time.
Yeah, yeah.
He needs some more time.
My niece has a little Boston Terrier, and he is a terror. He's a terror. His middle name. His middle name is Mayhem. She said she named him. She put Mayhem as his middle name because he is that bad. And he's got one brown eye and one blue eye, and when he looks at you, it scares you. It
Is
is
he
scary.
Australian Shepherd?
No, he's a Boston Terrier, black
Oh,
and white
okay.
dog. It
Hmm.
like Dana's dog,
Yeah,
like this. He's like
like that. Yeah.
he's like this dog, and uh, he is so frisky. And I said, when are you going? And he's like 9 months old now. And I said, when are you going to go get him fixed? Because we think that will calm him down.
A
And
little.
she goes, I don't know. I said, well, do it. Don't hesitate. I said, you need to get that done immediately to calm
Yeah.
him down.
Well, it'll calm him down somewhat, but not
Yeah. Well,
not not a lot. It depends on how. I mean, he may like we thought that maybe it would help Sparrow. Um, but he was 6 months old when we had it done. That's when the vet said was the best time.
right.
And so, but the vet said don't expect that. He said that if
Okay.
you stop them from getting their full testosterone by getting them done when they're really young, then it makes a huge difference. But it also makes them much less healthy,
Okay.
mentally and physically. If you do it too early, that's why
Okay.
they want you to wait till they're 6 months old.
Okay.
Um, our other dog, he was a year old before we did it with him because the people who had him before us didn't do it. Um, but it didn't make any difference to him whatsoever. He was
Yeah.
the same dog, but he was a good dog.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell any difference at all. And Sparrow was young enough that we don't know whether it may helped him or not. But I have to think it must have because I cannot imagine him being worse than he already was, and he is doing better. So we're grateful for that. Because I was afraid we were going to have to rehome him, and I did not want to have to do that because
Yeah.
Hannah she's just loves him so much.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure that's been a good comfort for her
It is,
through everything that's been going on.
yeah.
And
Well, it gives her
you
also
too.
something to focus on besides herself,
Yeah, yeah. You got to care.
and
It gives you that caring.
she has a walking buddy, so she loves to go for walks, but she
That
feels
gives you
safer taking him with
it
her. So
gives her an excuse to get out and go and
yeah,
not
but
stay
so
home.
twice a day at least she goes for a walk so that she can
That's
take him. So,
awesome.
but
And I am just so tickled to death that she's still working uh, at the accounting place, and that they still wanted her. And so she's got a is she full time yet?
yes, she's been full time since January.
And she's getting benefits, and she's getting social security, and that is so important, so
Yeah,
important.
yeah. In
And
July she'll be 21, so she can start contributing to the 401k and doing
yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff. And I told
yeah,
her you got to do this young
yes you
because the
do.
money that you put in there when you're 20 will get so much more money than if you start when you're 40.
Exactly. And let me tell you, you get used to not having it, you won't miss it. Joe
Yeah.
did it. He when he started working at the refinery, which is at the gasoline places at Marathon, making gas. That's a big job. That's a high paying job as an
Hi, Dana.
operator.
Sorry,
And
I just now saw you.
and
Glad you're here.
making good money. He put half of his paycheck away every month. And if and I am just tickled to death that he did. Of course, I'd married him 15 years later, but
Yeah.
he's set. He's okay. And I'm okay.
Right.
So it's good for both of us. But
Yeah. Well, we didn't start contributing like that until late. because we just didn't have enough money
Yeah.
to do that and homeschool the kids because that's expensive.
Yes, it
And
is.
of course, I wasn't working because I was homeschooling the kids, and
That's right.
so he didn't have a whole lot, put in there. Plus, we went through that time, of course, everybody did, where it lost, we lost everything that was in there pretty much in 2008, and it went down to nothing, and that's when he was like, okay, we're just not even going to put anything in for a while because we need to be doing this other stuff.
Is that when the stock market dropped and all that?
Yeah,
Yeah, Joe lost a bunch too. It,
yeah.
it I think it all gradually come
It
back.
comes back if you stay in.
Yeah.
But anyway, I told her if you start now, you will not have to have the worries and the concerns that I have, you know. If you just start now and continue to put money in. Um, so as soon as they let her do that, she's gonna at least start doing whatever the company will match.
Because I tell every time I get a hold of my grandkids, I tell them the story what Grandpa did, and I said
Yeah,
you've got to do it too. I said if you don't, and because they don't want to go to school and they don't want to finish this and they don't want, I said you can't sell pizza for the rest of your life. I said you don't want to work at McDonald's. You want to own a McDonald's. I said
there you go.
that's what I keep telling them. I said, work your way up, get assistant, get a manager's position, and then you can buy it and buy one and start one of your own. And really, that's what I said. That's what you want. But so far nobody's done it. But
Yeah,
my oldest granddaughter, I think she's got 2 years in veterinary assistant and she was going to go for a veterinarian doctor, but I think she quit after about 2 years of it. And I have no idea. She's working. I mean, she works a job, but it's not working with the animals like she wants,
yeah.
but or wanted. But
Well, sometimes you get into the schooling and you think, this isn't exactly as great as I thought it was going to be.
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, I read somewhere that the average college student, okay, come on, it wasn't for some reason turning off. The average college student now changes majors like 5 times,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is ridiculous. That
yeah,
costs you a lot of money,
extra.
and
Well, I know, but at least they're getting an education and they'll get a degree in
well,
something.
in something,
And
but it's not
and
help. A lot of those degrees aren't helpful.
and
You
they
have to,
could be they
you have to
could be
think about
backup
it.
degrees. You never know. You can't.
You never know.
And
Yeah.
that's something else I told the guy, especially the
Hi,
boys. I said,
Jacqueline. We're glad you're here. Sorry to
uh,
interrupt you, Beth.
"That's okay. Once you go to college, once you get an education, that is something that nobody can take away from you. Nobody can take your education away from you. I didn't graduate from college, but I took 3 years worth. I probably should have gone and got at least a liberal art associate degree, but I didn't need it at the time. I didn't need it in my career that I was in, and but if I had to do it again, I would go ahead and at least get an associate degree in something, whatever I could
Yeah.
qualify for, just to have that under my belt. But nobody can take away those education classes, and I can't tell you how many times I've used bits and pieces of all of them, in my life, throughout my life, adult life.
Yeah. I
And
don't feel like I've used a whole lot of mine. I only got an associate's degree. I started going further, but that's when I hurt my back
yeah, yeah,
and I was finance was what I was intending to go to when I got to the 4-year college.
yeah,
And I got part way and then I was like, no, I just can't do this. Um, so associate's degrees as far as I got,
yeah,
but
yeah,
um, and it depends on what you're wanting to do. But
exactly,
not
exactly.
everybody can afford college. It's horrendously
Yeah.
expensive right now, and I
Oh,
think
it was so different than when I was. I mean, classes were like,
how,
$70 a class,
yeah,
and books were only, 40. We thought 40 was a lot,
instead of 200.
and that's what mom did every Christmas. She'd give me book money, for my books. and
Yeah,
and I worked my way through college. I worked the whole time, and I was able to go part time. My at the hospital where I worked, my bosses and my charge nurses, they let me. I worked part time during classes, and then full time in spring break and summertime. I worked full time, and I saved up enough money for the next semester. I
Yeah.
mean, I did it. And, but today the kids can't. They don't know how to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I worked my way through too. That's why it took me
Yeah,
10 years to get an associate's degree because I was
yeah,
working all day and going to school at night.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And of course, if you took summer class, you could get through the classes really fast. But I usually tried to work at the hospital, so
Yeah. Jacqueline's cleaning her craft area. Words of wisdom or advice?
woohoo.
Oh, I wish I knew some words of wisdom. If I did, my craft room might be cleaner.
Words of wisdom: don't quit. Keep going.
Just keep going, keep on going. There,
Don't
that
stop.
sounds like words of wisdom to me.
I believe I'm spinning a little bit better today.
Well, good. I was just going to ask you how it's
Yeah,
going.
yeah. It's small batches, but uh, it's a clunkety 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 type pedaling. I'm going to have to see if Joe might be able to help me. If there might be a way, I'm not sure, but I feel like my heel doesn't go down far enough to get leave it in the upright position, so that when I push with my toe, it'll go in the right direction.
Yeah.
Which is clockwise. And I have to get it over on that side and then push and get going. But I'm doing it.
Jones, it's just so much. Yes, it is. It is. I've got to get mine done now because Ethan is using my studio some, and um my I've got so much stuff in here that it's really difficult, for anybody who's moving around a lot. And evidently he moves around more than I do because he knocks stuff off more than I do. And so I got to get rid of some piles. Got to get rid of some piles. But oh, I've got a lot of stuff down here I need to get off. But with what I'm spinning right now, it's not going to matter if it transfers, but because it's mostly, black or brown stuff. But when I start spinning this other stuff, I'm going to have to try to clean this a little bit. She, Teresa says she unpiled yesterday. That was one of the things that she did. Oh,
She said it was sky high, and I kind of got that going on in here. And believe it or not, I have really done a pretty big dent in here the past week. I've done some sorting and straightening out, and it just takes time.
yeah, and I need to do more of that, but
And of course, my problem is I like to do too many things.
yes, that's my
I got
problem too.
too many projects, but
All
that's
the stuff
okay.
for all the things.
I'm not gonna. I can't change that right now. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and I don't want to give up doing some of the things.
I don't either, and
So
I just have to take it a little bit slower then, if that's the way it's going to be.
I wish you had too, Teresa. I I was doing I spent a Saturday working in my studio, and I did take a before and after picture of that. Um, and I think I just messed up. I didn't do as much of the brown as I thought I did, and so now I put the dark in here already. I'm going to go back to the lighter stuff because I don't think I forgot I didn't do this piece. So now there's not as much light brown in that stripe as the dark brown stripe on either side. So we'll just go do some more. Luckily, I'm not trying to be precise about this and have it end up with perfection.
Yeah, I've already. I already said I just want to make party yarn, so I'm not worried about all of the different sizes.
Yeah. However it turns out, it's how it turns out, and it'll have a use.
Just accepting what it is.
Trying to pull out some of this lumpy stuff. And you can pull some of it out, but you can't. It takes forever. If you start doing that, then you get to where you're just spending all your time pulling stuff out. And I don't know why I'm trying to pull it out now because the first half of this I didn't pull anything out. So
I'm just having a hard time drafting.
well, do some more pre-drafting if you need to.
I have, but I'm getting the twist down better.
Yeah. Well,
Better
the
than,
pre-drafting teaches you to draft, so it's a good, it's a good learning experience
and
as well as help.
I'm holding on to the twist better
Yeah, well, that's
than I
good.
was.
Teresa says she's trying to figure out what kind of journal will make a good napkin journal.
Um,
Mm,
a Reader's Digest type book or a hardback book is my favorite.
that's a good idea because they're already bound, and napkins don't take
And
up a
you can
whole lot
cover
of.
the front of it with a napkin.
Yeah,
That's what I did with my napkin book. And I'm about ready to just quit this one and do another napkin book. I had a napkin on the front of it, but it's you can't see it anymore. So I but the it has a pretty bird right there. So it's real rustic looking. And there's a bird on the back you can barely see. So I need to put a new napkin on the book. But it was a hardback book, and 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 I but you need to tear out every other page. But I like the paper that it's on, and it's a little. This is an old book, and you can find discarded books.
and it's nice to have the print underneath the napkins. It looks
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I like that. But I like this size because it's easy. It's easy to store. It's nice to handle, and it lays flat. And if you don't tear out every other page, it won't lay flat, and then you can't stack your books up. And I want to stack them. So I'm about ready to go ahead and quit this one, even though I have a few more pages left in it. uh, you know, I can always go back to it. But if I start a new one, it'll be in a Reader's Digest book because I bought a dozen of those.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be a Reader's Digest, Teresa. Any book will work
Hardback.
fine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
Just a
what I
hardback
have.
book.
That's
Yeah.
just what I have.
But
And
if you have a bunch of them, they have cute covers, and you can get them if you can get them cheap. That makes them
yeah,
fun. But
but
but it
I can get discarded books from the library, and you can pick out whatever size you want.
yeah,
And I
and
just
some
like
of
the small book to handle wise. I liked handling it, and it's easy to put on my desk and leave.
yeah.
So here's my log.
I like
And
it.
if you missed that 2 weeks ago on Lisa's channel, I carded this on my carding board that Joe made me, and it has all the needles on it, and I did it by hand with a dog brush. And then Lisa did hers on her carding barrel, the machine,
Yeah,
and
drum carter.
the and I made mine. I did a DIY, and it worked out good.
Yeah. Well, I've my blending board is a DIY too, and it works great. So
Yes, it
I'm
does.
glad you went ahead and got Joe to make you one because a lot of the things you can do on the drum carter you can do on the blending board. Not
Yeah,
everything, but a lot of it, and
and
it's way cheaper.
yes, it is.
Doesn't take up as much space. So
and since I'm just a hobbyist, I'm really, I don't do too much with wools except my felting and things. But I just play, you know. I
That's
just
all I
didn't
do.
think that I would use the carding barrel. I just didn't think I would use it as often, very often enough to justify the price. But
Yeah.
but I did splurge and get the board, and I think that was the best choice for me for what I was doing. All right, let's see if I can draft, if I can spin this.
Okay, Teresa, go play with the puppy. Go play with the puppy.
Take them outside. She
Teresa says people, Julie says people must be hoarding them because she doesn't find very many. Oh, she's been hoarding them. And Teresa says she thinks people have been hoarding them there too because she can't find them anywhere.
the carding machines.
No, those Reader Digest books.
Oh. Well, I think I paid $1.50 or $1.75 for each one of mine, and I got a dozen of them, and it was free shipping,
Well, that's nice.
and they sent it to the house, so that's cool. But I started a set of rainbow books.
I saw those. Those are cute.
I think that's going to be fun.
Okay. This is beginning to all catch on my and get caught up in my wool, and I need one of those lint rollers out here, but I don't have one. So we're gonna do this.
Now, if I don't have to draft, I can do it. That's my problem now. Trying to do both
Well,
at the same time.
if you pre-draft and spin that way for a while, all the practice pre-drafting
But this is
will
like
make it easier
filter
for you to
tip.
draft.
Yeah.
So there we go. Tape works. Okay, I'm gonna spin a little bit more on this one, and then I'm gonna um, move over to the other one. Julie says they cost her about $2 each, and that was really cheap for in Australia.
Yeah. I mean, I could have looked for something cheaper, but you know, it was convenient,
Right,
and it
and
just
and now you have them.
and I have them, and I'm enjoying them.
Well, Tanya's in Alabama.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So
Did they have a plan or?
I think they have a loose plan, kind of a general idea, but they don't have dates attached to anything,
Yeah,
which I think's a nice way to travel because you don't have to feel pressured to get this done this on a certain day, and be there on
and
a
I'm
certain day.
I'm pretty sure she'll probably go see her son.
Yeah. I imagine they'll have, I mean, they probably have reservations, some places
Uh huh.
where they have to, be there at a certain time. But
Yeah,
Teresa's in Alabama.
she sure is. Alabama. You got to get the
Alabama.
Bama in there. Proud Alabama. Okay.
Teresa says most of the thrift shops there are $5 a book. Oh my goodness, Teresa, that's terrible.
You're going to the wrong thrift store.
Yeah, they're
No,
robbing you. Here they're about
no.
anywhere. Hardbacks are usually $1 or $1.50. Now I have had one store that had hardbacks for $3, but they didn't last. I mean, that didn't last long, and they had to reduce the price because nobody would buy them because they knew they could go to the other thrift stores and get them for $1.
Yeah.
So now they're $1 at that one too. I think Goodwill's the highest, and they're $1.50 at Goodwill for a hardback book. I need to show y'all some books I got in the children's section at the thrift store. Then at this particular thrift store, well, in most of them, I think children's books are like 50 cents, and and then they had it was Senior Citizens Day, so and some thrift stores you have to be 65 to get that discount, but at this one you can get it at 55. So
Yeah.
so I'm going to show you these books that I got real quick here. Um, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them because I'm not sure I'm going to want to make another fairy journal. But my sister friend, my stepsister, her granddaughter, I may give these to her. But this is Return to Fairiopolis. And this is Fairiopolis, so they're both in here. This one is a lot like the one that I used when we made our fairy book, but this one has it has pages like that in it, but then it also has this.
Ooh. Oh, a pop out.
Yeah,
Oh, that
it's
is
all
so good.
glittery and
That's
awesome.
wonderful.
I
Yeah.
bought that and I thought, oh, I wanted to use that to make, journal pages. It's got mushrooms and flowers and fairies and all the things. And then I found this one and I thought, oh, I need to give those to Disney.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I may give these to Disney, but I got them. It's singing. Yeah, it is. It's okay. Come on. Well, it didn't do it this time.
Oh my gosh.
It's just fairy music, not actually songs. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty cool that it has that fairy music in it.
That
And then
is
I
cool.
found these books, and this one was still wrapped in plastic.
You can make yourself big if you want to.
Oh,
That's
okay.
cute. The Jungle Book. Oh, how cute.
This one was still wrapped in plastic. This one was sitting there beside it, and the plastic somebody had just taken it off and laid it there.
I'm going to do
So
Peter Pan this summer.
they're both, brand new books. But
Yeah.
this is somebody else's attempt to do something like this, except not as well.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
No, it was just the glitter. There wasn't lights. Lights would be awesome, wouldn't it, Julie? But this one has interactive stuff in it, and got paper between all the interactive things so to protect them, I guess.
I see.
So so it's got some interactive stuff in it, but which so I think this one is okay, come on.
Oh,
But
a
it's
map. Yeah, a treasure map and
yeah, and here they've got these things that are little like spinners,
yeah,
but you
yeah.
can't really spin them because of the book.
It's just for fun, just for looks. Yeah.
Yeah,
The clock, and there's a
but
little
they,
maze
there's
game. They're like
there's
little
another
games, aren't
spinner.
they?
Yeah, they're supposed to be like activity things, some of them. This one is Tinkerbell's wing.
Oh, okay. There's her
I don't
wing.
I
Yeah.
don't know why they have Tinkerbell's wing in there. I mean, where's the rest of her? Look, this one's pretty clever though. Look at this.
A leaf, and then a hole in the leaf. And is there a face?
It's
Oh, it's
Peter
a
Pan.
silhouette.
Yeah.
How cute is that?
I thought
Okay.
that's pretty smart.
I'll have to take some of those ideas and use them. I
Yeah,
might get
yeah,
you to
yeah.
show me that again later.
That's
I'm going
fine.
to. I've been collecting Peter Pan things, and I've got a Peter Pan book and stickers, and I've printed out
Yeah.
Peter Pan things,
Anyway,
and
there's Peter Pan, and then this is Jungle Book, and it's kind of the same way. It's got things
oh,
in it that
those would be fun. Yeah, you can do some art pages in there, and
but
cute.
um this one has a bunch of
Yeah,
elephants. The spinny
yeah,
thing is in the back, so it works better on this one because they didn't stick it in the middle.
yeah.
So maybe they learned from the other one. And this one has,
Ooh, cool.
and here's another snake spinner thing.
Oh my.
And
Monkey.
monkeys.
Oh, how cute is
Aren't
that?
those cute?
Yeah, that's
It's monkeys, and then there's a person in the middle, the
little
little
boy. There's a
little boy
boy.
in the middle
Yeah.
of the monkeys.
Uh, that
I
looks
c
vintage.
It does, it really does. Um,
Cute.
and then this is
Another little map or
like a sketchbook
information.
pages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cute.
Anyway, they're both really cute books,
They're
and
inspirational.
they are. And I don't know if it's anything I will ever use other than inspiration or not, but I paid like, I don't know, 38 cents a piece for 'em.
Oh my heavens.
So, um and these were, let's see, in the US, this one, Peter Pan was 27.99,
Yeah.
and the Jungle Book was 29.99. But they have books similar to this at Barnes and Nobles with these
Okay.
kinds of covers, and Hannah loves those books, and she's collecting them, so she may end up with these.
I see.
But I don't know how she feels about all this stuff stuffed in it.
Well,
Um, anyway, she said I love the cover. I would love that book if it didn't have all that stuff stuffed in it. So
oh my heavens.
she just wants to
She's
read it. She just wants
she's
a book.
selective. She's selective in her.
Yeah. Anyway, I got those, and then I got this one more book, but I spent like $2.50 for all these books, and
That's neat.
it wasn't even that much because I got my no, because this one would have been $1 because it was a paperback book for an adult. It wasn't a kid's book. So I did. I spent $2, and I think it was 44 cents, including tax, for these five
That's
books.
a bargain.
It was a bargain. This one has pictures. This is from Ireland, and wherever it was paid for, it said in Irish currency it was £2.68. So I don't know. Um, I'm
Probably
trying to
$20.
see. Well,
Something
that
like
was such an old
$20.
book. So, see, this one was given to she got it on her trip to Great Britain in 1981.
Yeah.
So no telling what it might cost. Um, but that's what it cost then. I was going to
Yeah.
see where it was published. It was published in by J.M. Denton Sons in London. But
Okay.
anyway, there's all these pictures of Ireland.
That's good.
Every page has a page and then a recipe.
That's good. That's
I love
cute.
this. Whoops. They've got this park bench right in the middle there, and one guy's leaning against it.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, this guy's sitting on it. Okay, I was gonna say, but nobody's actually sitting on it. But you got people on the ground, and one guy lounging on that. He must be the rich man. I don't know. He's lounging on the park bench.
He's saving it for when his people get there.
This is probably how my ancestors lived in Ireland. I have Irish
Exactly.
ancestors. They were definitely not rich. They came over here in the potato famine. So,
Yeah.
um, But it's got it's just got tons of pictures. It's our fancy meal outside.
We see when remember when I did my Japan book and I did a Australia book and a Canada book and a Britain book. You could do an Ireland book. See,
I could do an Ireland book. I probably
hmm
should do an Ireland book.
if you don't mind arting on the opposite side, I would leave the
Yeah,
pictures and do a little art page on the other side.
that probably could be done unless it's a recipe I really think I would like. I
Well,
haven't looked through the recipes to see which
yeah,
ones I want to,
that's
you know.
right.
Of
That's right. You
course,
can
I could
art
make
on
a copy of the recipes I want,
you could
and
art
then
on the mutton, all the
yeah,
mutton ones.
yeah,
My dad, my my dad tried to teach mom how to cook a few things when they got married because she didn't know how to do too much, and he did a lot of cooking growing up because his parents, both of them worked, and his father was handicapped and he didn't cook, so daddy had to cook, and he learned at a young age how to cook a decent meal, and
yeah.
uh, and he taught mom how to cook a roast and meat because mother didn't know, and I think one time she fixed mutton for him, and it was awful. He said, which is hard to cook. A mutton, I think, is hard to cook.
Yeah.
It's the poorest part of the sheep.
Oh, that's a great idea, Teresa. Julie said her ancestors came from Ireland during the potato famine too.
Oh, okay.
We have a lot in common, even though we're halfway across the world from each other. Well, maybe most of the way across the world from each other. There's a lot of space between Australia and Amarillo, Texas. But luckily, we can all be right here together. Isn't that just awesome? Just awesome. Teresa says, my dad used to say he would never try mutton again. The more he chewed it, the bigger it got.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that's what happened.
That's funny. Okay, this is the yarn. Whoops, I've got to put some stoppers in that to hold it in space. This is the yarn I'm spinning um, from this. Yeah, because um, without the internet and all of that, we we wouldn't have a chance to know each other. I'm very grateful. There's a lot of junk on the internet I don't appreciate, but overall, I appreciate it very much. And I get irritated with YouTube sometimes, but I'm still grateful because that's gives us this community. Same thing with Facebook. I get irritated with Facebook, but I still am happy that it gives us this community. So many of us would feel alone in our crafting if we didn't have
Oh,
that.
I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't be doing it.
Well, and we wouldn't even have as many ideas,
Uh-uh. It opened my world when I come down here. I didn't know what in the world I was going to do. I had, you know, when you move to a new place, I mean, I had my family, my mother and my sister and everything, but they can only take you for so long. You got to
that's
leave,
true. You,
That's the
you gotta have other interests as well.
Yeah, and of course, and then of course we immediately joined the same church as mom had, so that wasn't a problem. And we already knew people at the church because every time we came down to visit for the previous 5 years, we were down. I was down here 3 and 4 times a year with that Allegiant, cheap flight,
Yeah,
and I worked part time at the time, and I could come down on a long weekend, and a lot of times I did, and then Joe would get off. He would get like 4 or 5 days off at a time, at once a month. They would work up to where they put two weeks together, days off together,
right.
and we could fly down here for 4 days, and it was no big deal. And we would always go to church with mom and dad, so we knew all the people. But
Yeah.
but still, I was, here I moved into this house, and boxes were everywhere, and it was kind of. And after the third truckload, Joe decided he wanted to do all the moving himself. He didn't want somebody else moving his stuff. So it wasn't any cheaper to do it yourself. It would have been cheaper if we had it done. But
Yeah.
we got the third trip down, the third moving truck down is when I had a full blown nervous breakdown. It was awful, and
Oh,
I I I had an anxiety attack once before that, at another time up there, but up north. But that was another nervous breakdown, and it put me in bed. And I was already on a little anxiety pill, but I didn't know that I could take more of it. And so when I went to the doctor down here, got a new doctor, she said, well, you can take an extra pill in the middle of the day. Oh, well, if I knew that, I would have been doing it.
yeah. Well, I'm glad you were able to get past it because I know that was hard.
It
I'm going to
was,
answer a couple of questions.
yeah.
Yes, Teresa, this is a smaller one than this. This one is called the Nano 2, and this one is the Electric Eel Wheel 6. They're both made by the same guy. I got them both in Kickstarters, but they are. This one is smaller. It's not as strong as that one, and it's a little bit more finicky to get the tension right. But I just read, actually right before we started, I just read where somebody told how they fixed that problem, and so once I do what they said to do, I think it'll be better. But I guess I could actually do that now, I guess. But anyway, um, Julie says, I would still be a bored, frustrated person, not aware of my crafting mixed media potential, knowing that I could do things. But to the extent I can, I never even dreamed I could. So, yeah, I think a lot of us are that way, Julie. I mean, I've always done some crafty stuff, but not the volume or the kind of stuff that I do now because of YouTube.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm amazed at the things my kids have learned on YouTube and all the information about writing books that Hannah has learned all on YouTube.
Exactly.
She's pretty much designed her own curriculum for creative writing by buying books and watching YouTube, um, and so it's really cool.
That's nice.
Oops, yeah, messed up there, but we're just gonna let it go and keep going. All I have is one bad of this anyway, so it's not going to be a very big skein of yarn. So I'm not going to worry about it. It was a bat I made just to demonstrate how to take a braid apart and make a bat with it yesterday when I was at the demonstration thing. And um, so it's not
Also,
like I'm going to make a big sweater out of it or anything.
uh, last night I had Stacy May on my show. Catitude is her
Uh
name,
huh.
and she streams every day at 10 o'clock, 7 days a week, if as long as she doesn't have a doctor's appointment. And she
10 o'clock in the
usually has
morning.
an yeah, every day at 10 o'clock she streams for about 4 or more hours, and she usually has a panel if anybody wants to go on and sit, and everybody sits there. It's a quiet time, and you can sit and work on your project and chit chat with each other. And everybody's doing something different. And but anyway, she's got a girl that goes on with her named Linda, I think. And I just found out last night that Linda spins, and I haven't met her. I haven't talked to her one on one yet, so I'm gonna have to get with her too and see if she can help me spin a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be a lot easier with someone actually there with you. It's
No,
hard.
not here, but
Oh,
on the show.
oh,
But
yeah.
but uh, but I'm just saying it'd be nice to talk to somebody else about it too.
Yeah, it
And
will.
and
It's
then
always
I there's
the more the merrier.
and Juanita. There's a girl named Juanita. She spins,
Yes, I know Juanita. Yeah.
and I've talked to her and about spinning wheels and stuff. And I told her what I got, and she thought it was great.
What is that girl's channel again?
Stacy May Catitude,
Catitude. Stacy May Oh, I've seen her. Yeah.
and she
Okay, I
goes
didn't
by
know
her
she was a
name.
spinner.
Hmm And
Cool.
so I told her I'll have to come on the show one morning, get up if I can get up, and and talk to Linda.
Yeah. So Linda's the spinner. Stacy is the girl with the channel.
Yes.
Okay.
But I bet you a nickel. If I can take my spinning wheel here, and she'll get hers and spin with me.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
bet she will. That'd be cool.
and that's what I need to do. I just need more practice
Yeah,
more than anything.
that's
And
what
because
it takes.
I'm doing it one wheel at a time. But I'm getting better with my heel and my toe.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Well, you just keep going, and one day it's gonna like boom. Oh,
I hope
you
so. I'm
know.
waiting.
But it
Well, I'm
there's a lot
already
of practice
drafting better.
between now and then. At least for me, there was.
There's not as many lumpies as I used to have, so that's good.
Yeah.
But it looks like 3 ply yarn. It's how thick it is.
Teresa's asking about your Bible study.
Yes. Um,
She
I
said,
started
"How
the
did
Bible.
your Bible study come out?"
It came out fine. I started a Bible study with Angie Raab, Raab, and it turned out that she's been in our community and she lives real close to me. So we said, "Hey, let's get together," and we fell in love with each other, and we loved the same stuff, and we went to an art gallery, went to lunch, on Fridays I'm going to her church with her, and we're doing Revelation. So I just went for the first time this week Friday, and I'll go back again next Friday. And so far, I love it. The teacher is very knowledgeable, and she gives you more information than you really need. But she gives you lots of paperwork and stuff because she thinks it's important, that you read it and see this, and she wants to share it. And I think that's awesome. And she gave me a folder to put all my papers in, and of course I took my Bible. And so next week she saw my Bible, and I do art in my Bible, in a designated Bible, which is my study Bible, and I do art in it. And she saw it. She goes, "Well, next week I'm bringing colored pencils."
There you
I
go.
said, "Okay." So yeah, so I'm pretty sure everybody will be wanting to look at my Bible. And it turns out that Angie, she has an art Bible like mine too, and it's jam packed full of beautiful pages and things that she's created things in it. And it's got a lot more stuff in it. Now when I art in my Bible, I use like ink tints pencils, things that you can are transparent and you can see through it. And I just bought some brand new markers, and they're the Bible highlighters that you can still see the words without,
Yeah.
so you can art on your page without destroying the words. And I've only made the mistake of using acrylic paint, I think maybe on 2 pages where you can't see some of the words, and I quit doing that. And
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I do use my Bible, and but some people art in their Bible and they cover up the words and everything, and then highlight the verse that they want on that page, and but they dedicate that Bible for the art. No disrespect, and
Yeah.
and you have to be careful around elderly women who thinks it's terrible to draw in your Bible. You should never mark your Bible up. But
Yeah, I had I I had a lady sit by me. I can't remember where I was. It wasn't at my home church, but and I was underlining things. That's all I was doing was underlining things in my Bible, and she was so upset at me, and I was like, "Well, I'm thinking of it as a way to learn and a way to remember what I learned, and it never occurred to me it would be disrespectful. Now, but it was for her. I felt really bad because, the Bible tells us not to be a stumbling block to someone else. And I hated that it upset her so much, but that never occurred to me. Now, I've never arted in a Bible because I didn't want to cover up any of the words. But I
exactly.
bought a Bible that's got a piece of paper in between every piece, every
Oh,
page. So you have a page to art on. I
to
haven't
write
got
or
brave enough to
anything.
work in it,
Yeah.
but it's called an interleaved Bible.
Okay.
And
And
so
there's
it's really fat,
yes.
so it's not something that I would carry to church because it's so fat, but I think it would give me, um, yes, Julie, it's a form of worshiping Jesus. I agree.
And
Anyway,
and
I
the
bought
Bible
that
journal,
Bible, but I
the
haven't actually worked in it
yeah,
much
the rest
because,
they sell Bible journal books with a two
yeah,
inch margin that gives you enough space to draw a bookmark of some sort for that
yeah.
page. Yeah,
And there are lots of ways to do it too. I just haven't decided what I want to do in mine.
yeah,
And so I decided not to do anything in it until I decided what I wanted to do because I don't want um, to make messes in there.
yeah, yeah,
I can
yeah,
make messes in a sketchbook. So, and that's one reason why, when I was doing my Bible studies, I had a separate book that I was doing my art in. And I would just put the verse that I was thinking about that day in that, I would print it out and put it in that book. And that's probably what I'll do, with the next one is the same thing. I'll have a separate book for my art.
Now I know this looks like a lot of stuff, but I can read every word in this. You see it, Lisa?
Yeah, I can see that, and I can see even from here that you can see through it and
Yeah,
read it.
yeah.
I
I
can't read it
can.
because I'm
These are
so
done
blind, but
with ink pens, pencils, and you can read through every one of those. And that's the
and they
tree of
didn't bleed
life.
through.
And here's this is in Revelation too that we're studying. And here was the seven lamps
Oh yeah.
and the morning sun.
Oh, that's cool, Teresa. She has a gel plate set that you make your own bookmarks with.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
I think I remember you showing that. I think I do.
Yeah. And this is be the beacon, be the lighthouse. And I tried to draw a lighthouse. So it's real pastel. But that's what I'd like to do. And then I do a lot of tip ins. And there we talk about the King of Kings. So I had some words, and it's just tipped in. It's a tip in, and I
Yeah.
under highlighted King of Kings, and
Hi,
it makes it
Barbara.
fun.
We're glad you're here.
And there's lots of stories, and when I draw a picture, I can remember. And this is about the good shepherd, and I have a shepherd hook.
Yeah.
So I already know what's on this page without even reading it.
Yeah,
And
that's a good way to do it.
yeah, and that's just my way of and then I do the fun things, and I will probably take these to Bible study next week, and I'll show everybody my Q-tip.
Yeah. I imagine they'll think that's funny, especially
So we're
since you're
turning
studying
into a little.
Revelation.
So I have this little Q-tip, and it's got a Bible verse on it. And when you look up the Bible verses, it says, "Open my ears so I may hear, hear your word." And it's Revelation 3:6. And And then I'll give this to each one of the girls, and they can stick it in their book.
Or in their beside it to remind them to open it. Um, Teresa says it has 2 long bookmarks and 3 or 4 smaller gel plates. A heart and a cross are 2 of them, but she'll have to take them down to see what the others are. And Julie said, I said recently, understand how connected we are with the creative in us to the creator who gave it to us. Amen, Julie. Amen. That's one of the ways we're made in his image. I mean, you know, I can't believe anything except that God loves watching us be creative because, I mean, he made a giraffe and a hippopotamus and a sloth. So he has to have a good sense of humor and enjoy creating things just for fun.
And a zebra. Look at the zebra.
Yeah. Teresa said, should I do, oh, I missed it. Um, should I do front post, back post for the band or just one or the other? I I would think, now I am not a professional crocheter, but I would think front post, back post would give you a good stretchy band. Maybe somebody else who does more crochet can answer that better, but and orchards that look like monkey faces. There you go. And just look at her little pup. Your little pup is adorable, Teresa.
Oh. I got some eyes that I'm gonna put on them. Sharon gave me some eyes, and they're in this basket right over here on the floor.
This one is a little louder. I noticed when I was watching my replay of the video I did where I reviewed these 2 spinners and compared them, that after a second the camera canceled out the noise from both of them, so you couldn't really tell the difference in the sound. Which I thought was kind of funny because that was one of the things I wanted to show was that the big one is quieter than this little one. But it wasn't very well highlighted in that. Teresa says, but have you ever seen such a weird looking little pup with short hair on his head and ears and long hair on his neck and chest and short hair on his behind? Well, I'm sure that he is a hybrid, but he is adorable. I think adorable is the right word. Clever camera. Yes, I do like that about this camera. Because when I use the heat gun, it's not so bad. This is still not wanting to pull on quite the way I think it should. But if I take this off to fix that, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to take it off and fix it. And we'll see if it makes a difference. I have to try to hold the twist in so I don't lose it. Okay, and then put a little clip here. Okay, let's take the dry band off. And this is what I'm going to replace with something that's not elasticy. I've never had an elasticy drive band on the other one, and so somebody told me that it really works better if you don't have elastic, if you use just a string like I do on this one instead of elastic like is on this one. So we'll see. Now, how do you? Okay, please don't be breaking it, Lisa. Oh, okay. Well, hmm. I thought you could just take that off. Whoops. Let's see if it will untwist. Maybe that's it. Maybe it needs to untwist. Nope, it just twisted it back up. Oh, there is a screw, but I don't think that will help because this is the part I need to. Hmm. Okay, we're doing surgery now. Oh, I've made hats, but I can't really remember. It's got a hole here, so you can put a screwdriver in to unscrew that, but my screwdriver's too short. Okay, so maybe today is not the day to change this. Or I could, let's try that. We can always put this back on um, if it doesn't work. I'm going to leave some of this elastic band and I'm going to tie my string to it because a lot of it was rolled up. Um, Now, string. I will be right back. Find a good string that will work.
I'm doing it slowly but surely. One spin at a time sometimes. I
No,
get 2 or 3
that's
spins in there sometimes. And then my right hand gets all bogged up and then I get too much. And uh but I'm learning how to connect it better so I can connect some of the little pieces in there. I know how to get it going, so that's the main thing. I could just do hand spinning, spin it by hand.
well, you could.
It
If you
helps. It helps gets me some of the twist back in, or get it up to the top.
that whoever it was I was watching that talked about doing this said that the tension is easier to get to regulate if you use a string instead of the elastic. So, oops. So we're gonna try it. Okay, we will see if this makes any difference or not. Sometimes you got to work with it a little bit. Okay. 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 All righty, Lisa. Nope. Okay, we're still struggling here with take up. I'm getting a little bit frustrated.
I'm not.
Well, good.
I should be, but I'm not. I'm doing
Well,
all right. I know it's not fast, but I'm going to get with Joe and see if I can spin this and 'cause, you know, you can hear it. You can hear it moving and stuff. And I'm just going to work on it. I'm going to see if Joe can't tweak it a little bit. But I think it's running the way it's supposed to.
yeah.
I just it's just that I need to do better. But I am doing better. Look at the yarn I've got.
Yep. Just takes some practice. Okay. We're finally doing better here. Y'all still around? Nobody's talking.
Um, did you all see where Reverend Stanley passed away?
No, I didn't see that.
Charles Stanley. He was a big Southern minister.
When you say that, do you mean from the South or do you mean Southern Baptist?
Uh, South Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think he was originally from. He was born in Virginia, but he lived in
Okay.
Georgia, and he was a big TV person, radio person. But he was 90. He was 90.
It was time.
It was time.
Yeah. It's not a tragedy if you live to be 90 and can do what you love till you're
No,
90.
no, he died natural, and I think that's awesome. All the
Barbara
good things.
finally made it to her desk so she can chat. Yay. He was Southern Baptist as well. Okay. Thanks, Julie.
I didn't know which denomination he was in, but I knew he was Southern.
Yeah.
I read his a little bit of his biography this morning.
Julie said something that she read said he was a Southern Baptist minister.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Barbara says, Teresa, I've crocheted a bunch of hats. Do you want a message about it on Messenger? That's a great idea. Or when they get off, we could turn on the cameras. Yes, you could do that. That would probably be helpful. Barbara and I are going to be playing with grid journaling on Thursday at
Grid.
1:30 right here on my
Did you say
channel.
grid?
Grid. Yes, grid journaling. So you'll have to tune in.
Yeah, sounds interesting. I
Yeah.
can tell you what it reminds me of.
What's that?
There used to be some puzzle puzzle games where you draw what is in the square, and then all the squares put together make a puzzle, and it makes a
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
You draw what you see in each square.
Well, this is a little differently. This is basically um, putting a grid, and it's not like graph paper kind of grid. It's just like squares on your page. And so it's like doing a collection of small artwork rather than one big journal page. You're doing like 9 or 4 or 6 or however many you choose to make your grid, small pieces. And you use the same stuff on them, but you make 4 different little pieces of art. I think that that's a decent explanation. If it needs to be explained better, Barbara, you could explain it a little better. But from what I've watched, I've seen a few people. There aren't that many videos on it out there. The few people that I've seen doing it, they each did it a little bit differently. So it's definitely something you can just adapt to do. Use
Yeah,
whatever supplies you have, the things you like to work with. Um, yes, Mary Ellis is one of the ladies that I was watching. And I've watched Keely, but she didn't. She made a class, and Barbara's put a link to the class in my group, my Facebook group, so you can go and you can take. It's a free class, so anybody can go take this class. Um, and Keely Wynn, the Color Crush Creative, made that class on it. And then, but there are some other people who are doing it. Some just they're just showing you how they do it. And Barbara is going to kind of show us how she does it. And I'm just going to do it however I do it. I'm going to take the class after we have this, after we do it on Thursday, because I really want to just play with it without worrying about, am I teaching something that she's got in a class, and I don't want to. Um, Here she says, the way I think about it, Lisa, this is what Barbara says, is that you start with a page full of squares and then do a mini J by 5 process on it. Start with black mark in every square, something water soluble, and so on.
oh, I like that
And
idea.
I just got started thinking, and so I wrote down 20 different things that are kind of like, I would say, prompts, but 20 different things you can use on them. Some of these things I saw people using on them, some of them I haven't, but I thought it might be fun to pick pick out those and just keep going till we're tired of it, and then start a new grid with some more of them. I don't know if Barbara will want to do that, but I thought that'd be a way for me to start, is to use instead of just thinking, okay, because most of these girls that I was watching say, well, I do this first, and then I do this, and then I do this. And so they have a specific set of things, an order of things they like to use. And then anybody can, use the set of things and order of things they like to use. So she says, and then apply water, and then add color, then add bits and pieces, maybe some text paper, some words, some doodles, whatever. So it's kind of like doing a bunch of little bitty art journal pieces on one page.
Okay.
Yeah. And this girl, her, if you can, on our, well, Barbara, you could put that link in the notes here too. If you want to, you can share it. I think it's okay to share it that way, and not just if you can share it in Facebook, you ought to be able to share it on here. So if anybody wants to take that class, they can. They can watch it and
what was her name again? Ellis.
Kelly, Mary Ellis is one of the ladies that I was watching do it.
Okay.
Kelly Wynn at Color Crush Creative. Her YouTube channel is Color Crush Creative. She started it. She doesn't have a whole lot of videos on it, though. I found Mary Wynn had more videos than she did, or at least that I could find. But she made a whole class, so she doesn't need to. She said, Barbara says, yes, I thought I'd start with another page in my journal. I'm making rectangular spaces because it fits my page, but I also want to do a separate watercolor page so I can tear them up. That's a great idea. I like your idea of being able to tear them up. Of course, the book I'm going to be working in is not so precious. I couldn't just tear them out and use them. But it would be fun to do on watercolor paper as well. And what I'm using is just sketch paper. So I am going to glue 2 pages together because I am going to use wet stuff. And I took them in the house, but I made some little templates. I made 2 by 2, 2.5 by 2.5, 2 by 3, 3 by 4, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, a bunch of different size templates to make my squares. And I thought it might be fun to do different, not do all 2-inch squares on one page, but do a rectangle and a square, and
mix it up a little bit.
Mix it up a little bit, and circles. We could use circles. I punched a 2-inch circle and a 2.5-inch circle. Anyway, I made these things so I can draw around them on my page to make my grid.
Okay.
Anyway, I think it's going to be really interesting. But I decided, because I don't want to take the chance of being somebody who doesn't follow her guidelines, and her guidelines were really strict. I didn't want to take the class until after we've done this together, because I don't want to inadvertently have someone think I am teaching her stuff without her permission. So I'll take the class afterwards. Then I'll learn some more stuff how to do it.
No, you just used her for inspiration. You're doing your own thing. You don't have to do it exactly like her. You put your own spin on it and make it your own.
I'm sure I won't be doing it exactly like her, but
right.
Anyway,
so you wouldn't be.
Yes, it's grid journaling. But the course is not. The link she had to the course on one of her videos I couldn't get there from it. But it said it was an error. There was no page. But the link that Barbara put in our Facebook group, I got to the class. So it is still there, and it is still free. But the link that she had on her channel, I couldn't get to. I couldn't get to it from there. And I don't know if she moved it and then she just didn't change her videos because they'd been made previously or what. But hello, JL Johnson. So good to see you. Glad you're here.
Hi, Janice.
I think it will be very interesting. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And it it's something you could do as a warm-up exercise, or you could do it just to because it's cool and you want to make a whole art journal out of it. Barbara posted a couple of her first two pages that she did in our group, and they were fantastic. I love them. So I'm glad we're going to be doing this on Thursday. I think it's fun.
What
And I
time
don't think
Thursday?
I don't know
Two.
Kelly, but she seems nice. I don't think she'll get upset that we're doing it. But
Oh, I think she'd be honored.
what she wants you to do is share her class with people rather than reteach her class on your own.
Right.
And I
Well,
think she's giving it away, and she doesn't want people making money off of doing it. And I certainly wouldn't do that. Um, but anyway, but there's not a whole lot out there on it. So it is something that if you know, you can learn some from some other people who are doing it. But I think it would be good to go ahead and take the class. And I will, but I am going to wait. I'll learn more. Barbara
sounds
says I'm going to
good.
have to go to the Facebook page to find the link again. I can't find it from the website either. Yeah, I never could get there from the website or from her the link she put in her videos, but I definitely got to it from the link that you had. Um, so it is still there and it is still free. And I've got it in a tab so that as soon as Thursday is gone, I can go ahead and watch it. But you have to sign a promise to abide by those terms, and I want to abide by them and not even inadvertently do something that might upset her. So I'm just not gonna watch it until after we get through playing with it. That doesn't mean I won't do it again sometime after I've watched it, but at least I can see if there's something very specific she teaches that I don't know, that I can't come up with on my own. So, and you're right, she probably wouldn't care us doing it this way, but and Barbara's not going to be. She's just going to show you what she does. She's not going to be teaching the class either. But since it's on my channel, I wanted um, to be careful with it because she came up with it. And I don't want to take any chances on messing it up. Julie, Julie posted it. Thanks, Julie. And Barbara posted it too. So now there's two. But I can't wait to do it. But I'm gonna wait till Thursday. Thursday night, that'll be my reward. I'll get to watch those classes. I'll probably watch them all in one day. Okay, I'm gonna do this much more, and then and it did make a difference to change that drive band. So I'm glad I did. Are you still doing your park and draft kind of method?
Yeah, I kind of did a lot of it by hand, but I wanted to show you how much I did.
Oh
And,
yeah, that's
and it's
looking pretty.
pretty consistent. I'm doing the long draft, uh, doing it long and then feeding it in, holding the twist. You
Yeah,
know, I think you did that the other day. You did it long, and I've
right.
seen somebody else do it uh, on another spinning video. So I kind of like that, and then I feed it in, and I can that way I can do each of them kind of separately until I get used to doing them together. Uh, and I'm going to get with Joe, and for some reason, it's got a heel on the pedal, and I'm thinking if it was, there's not enough pedal. If I had a bigger heel, I could do it better.
Or make a
Uh,
longer pedal.
yeah, and I bet
I
you
know we had to make a new pedal for Hannah's.
okay.
So she made her pedal really wide. That way she could switch feet.
and
easily, and
but
it works just fine.
I
So
am really, really happy with my yarn.
I don't know Karen Burchill, but you can put her link in too if you want to. I'd be glad to watch her. I haven't seen her doing it.
See if I can get them both in. Get my roll bag in there. Making yarn. So
I've seen watercolor artists do this a lot, but they were not doing mixed media. They were just doing watercolor. And so I've done it in watercolor, but I haven't ever done it mixed media. And
so I've got I'm about halfway through my log, and so I still have quite a little bit more room left on my bobbin before I quit, and I can go as wide as these ends. So yeah, and my tension screwed itself off or vibrated itself off. So that was a problem a minute ago, and I didn't know that it was loose. It was almost all the way off. So yeah, it's 4 o'clock over here,
oh yeah, it is over there, isn't it?
and I'm so pleased with what I've done. I've made. I love my new yarn. And of course, I'm just going to use it just like that. I'm not going to be plying it or anything. But I can bind books with it and make tassels and use it in my art.
Hi, Kellyanne.
Of course, it
We're
probably
glad.
lasts forever. But I
Well,
love
and
the
if you
color.
take, when you get through with that,
Yeah.
if you take it and wind it up into a tight little ball
Yes.
and let it just sit for a while, it'll hold the
Yes.
twist pretty good. Definitely good
Okay.
enough to use in your art.
And I got me some new crochet hooks. So I can crochet. I know how to crochet.
Well, you're all ready to go then.
So you know, uh, I'll be, I'll be, I'll be all right. And this is all of the stuff that I ended up having to pull off, but I can still use this. This
I
is
say
not
use
waste.
your dog cards and um dog brushes and card it up.
Yes, I got my dog brushes here, and I can comb it out, and I have my blending board. I can put it back on the blending board.
Yeah.
So uh, and I can make some more and add to this if I need more of it. But for what I'm going to do with what I'm going to do with it, it's just going to be for to play with. It's just art yarn, and
Yeah.
I'm tickled to death with it. I love the color, and I can't wait to try different blends, another blend. But I have to do this first.
There you go.
But that everything is going to be it's so nice, and but I can felt with this and I can make a purple elephant or something. I made a bee,
Flowers.
and
You make flowers with it.
flowers, and I used to do the sceneries. Um, uh, where I'd take a picture off of the internet and I would felt that picture or view. Uh, and I haven't done this for a while. I don't have a date on this book, but it was probably 2000, maybe 2000. Oh, 21, January 21 is when I first started doing felting with as a scenery. And this is a book with different things in here. And the girls in the chat room would send me pictures, and I'd do whatever they wanted in with my felting.
Yeah, that is a cute book. I love it.
So my intention was to do one a month, but I ended up doing 2 a week. I've got 4. Here's I did 3 in January. Here's February. There's February. That's 2. And this one is a special one. This is my mother's heart. Um and this was felted with her hair.
Oh, how cool.
When I started felting, she asked me, she says, "Can you felt hair?" And I said, "Oh yes." I said, "Your hair is very feltable. It's a different texture now. It's not something that you'd put want to make a sweater out of, uh,
Yeah.
but because it's coarse and it's kind of wiry. But she started saving me her hair, and she gave, and I have a jar of my mother's hair. So I'm corny. I'm a little bit corny. And there's a crazy fish. You can do fun things with it, or serious things. I did a rabbit. So, and
Oh, goodness, excuse
see
me.
what the date is on that one. I don't have a date. Oh, that was March of 21. So I did this whole book between January and March. But I'd like to do some more of these. And I've got more in my fabric journal. I have a fabric journal, and
Yeah.
I think I've showed it off once before, several times before. So need to get it out and see what I can do in it. But I think I'm about done for the day. How about you?
Okay. I
Uh,
probably am pretty much done too. Um,
so
I I really wore myself out and hurt my back yesterday spinning and doing the drum
oh,
carter and everything for all those hours. So it's probably better if I don't do too many, too long a time doing this same thing today. Um, Barbara, are you in a place where you could come on with me if I gave you the link and you could show them your pages? And I thought while you do that, when you do that, I could get out my book and I could show them the templates I made in case anybody wants to get ready to play along with us. Oh,
okay,
Barbara's gonna do something with Teresa about hats, so that's okay.
okay. She said she can come on for 1 minute.
For 1 minute, okay. Well,
So
she can
I'm
come
going to
on for
say
1 minute
goodbye
while we
and
go.
trade out and hand the baton to Barbara.
Okay, I will send her a
Thank you,
link real
Lisa.
quick.
And I'll
Uh-huh.
talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for coming on with me, Beth.
You're welcome. I'll be watching for you tomorrow.
All righty. Okay. I sent you the link. I'm gonna finish this little bit here. Watch for Barbara to come in, and then I'll go get my journal and the templates so I can show you what I'm talking about. Mindy says she hopes it's longer than a minute. Let's see if I need to. No, I already turned it off. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make you big and
Okay.
put you on the big screen. Let's say it that way. That sounds nicer.
Okay, this is the way it looks. This is, folks, the way it looks.
Okay. You have something on somewhere. We're having a lot of.
What do I have on? I
You
have
have
you.
your sound on YouTube. Do you have
Yes,
YouTube still up?
I do.
Okay. Well, if you turn off your sound on YouTube, we're good then.
Okay.
Evidently you did, because it's fine now.
It's fine, but now I've got you. Oh, I don't want YouTube. Go away.
No, you want in stream. You just watch through StreamYard.
Wait, I lost it now. Wait, where is it? Spinning with Beth.
Well,
wait a minute.
You just maybe you got rid of it, but that's okay. It
Oh,
doesn't
here's
matter.
StreamYard. Here's StreamYard. Okay. Okay. I'm
Okay,
here.
you're in here.
I don't have my headset on. Is it okay?
I think for right now we're doing okay, since we're not going to be doing a long stream. I think it's fine.
Okay. I'm charging my little headset over here.
Chat for a minute before you show your pages, because I want to see them too. I'm going to run get that book and my grids.
Oh, okay.
So I mean my templates.
Okay. Well, I just sat down at my desk. You guys are catching me with egg on my face, shall we say. Okay. Getting some stuff off of the way. See, when I do streaming, I have this cute little method that I do this with. Oh, you know what, Teresa? Are you still there? Kathy Whitney sent me this in a Happy Mail package. And you know what I think? I think that would make a heck of a wonderful hat band, wouldn't it? Anyway, okay, where are my books? My books are in the other room too. I'll show you what I made to make a page in my book. This is also when I was putting paint down on my page in my book. I put the paint on here, so this is something to doodle on later. So in something, I think I got a comic book grid thing. This is a comic book grid thing, and it wasn't quite big enough for my traveler's notebooks. So I put it on my printer, and I made it larger. Okay. So this fits my traveler's notebook pages. This is small for it, but it would, you could use it anyway for something. But what some of these people are doing is just, this is a piece of foam, 2-inch piece of foam. And the lady, Kelly, who teaches this stuff, was using like a 2-inch, one of those notepads, one of those sticky notepads. Anyway, now, Lisa, I got to run get my books, which are in the kitchen. I'll be right back.
Okay. I started making some grids on this paper, and this is just a sketchbook. It's nothing special. But you can see, I don't know if y'all can see, how even just that ink pen is coming through. And I'm going to leave those, and I'm just going to use dry medium on them. But then I'm going to go ahead and put 2 pages together so that it'll be thicker and I can do more mixed media stuff on it, I think. But these are the grids, I mean, the boxes I made.
Oh, there you go.
So you can make, circles. Or I was trying to make my grids with a ruler, and that was a headache.
Yeah.
So I decided this would be better. So you can do it like this. Your grid, I mean, the ones I saw, their grids were all the same, but they don't have to be, I don't think. You could do that if you want to.
They don't have to be.
And then, if you did a few pages like this, you might decide there's a certain size you prefer to work in.
That's right.
Yeah, you could trace around stamp blocks. You could trace around anything. This is just off of a pad of paper.
You could.
And I'm thinking, yeah, that's about the same. I'm going to use this while
somebody else did one with circles, and I thought that would be fun. I think I'm going to do some circles on when I get to doing one on a watercolor page.
Yeah, I think circles would be fun too. I have a 2-inch or 2.5-inch punch, so that's the only size of circles I have.
That'd be a good time. That'd be a good size for it.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, why don't you go ahead and show us? And I'm just going to be doing this in the background.
This is just
actually I'm going to make you big.
Oh, okay. This is just, I just started it in my everyday art book. This is my everyday art journal for this year. So make art every day is my word of the year. So anyway, this was the first one I did. And I put what I did on here. She starts with a like a water soluble black marker of some kind, like a uh Stabilo. All this is Kelly is the she I'm talking about here, Kelly Wynn. Um, she starts with a like a Stabilo all pencil. I don't have that. I started with a black watercolor pencil. So these dark marks, weird marks in the background is watercolor black, and then you get over it with a little water and you mush it around, and then you get some paint. So I got some ink tints, and I also got some metallic watercolors. So you can see the metallic watercolors here, I think here. Anyway, so you just put color on the page, and that's where you decide whether you want it to be monochromed or whatever. Um, and then you add bits and pieces of stuff. So this is, I have this one little thing where I put all these little kinds of things into a color box, jelly print rub offs and junk, and these are
Uh-huh.
so these are just little edges of jelly prints. This is a little piece of a jelly print. So you just put little bits of pieces of things on there. This is on a fabric. Anyway,
Fabric. That was the other thing I was going to put on my list. And by the time I got to my list, I forgot what it was I was going to write down. So I need
so
to do it.
my
Fabric and
steps that
lace.
I used were number one, marks with black watercolor pencils. Now on the Karen Burchill, if you find the Karen Burchill, she started with paint. Then my second one was ink tints and metallic watercolor, and then colored jelly bits, and then stencils and stamps. So let's see if I have some. Oh, yeah, I have like this one that says peace. This one says eternity, and this one says love. That's a series of um is that Japanese, Chinese? Anyway, it doesn't show up against my black. So one thing I learned on this one is not to do it with strong black background, but I like the idea. Little bits of It's a great place to use little bits of washi tape. So
Yeah. Yeah.
stencils and stamps, and then doodles. So here's the doodles, doodles at the end of it, just little doodles. And you decide for yourself whether you want a lot or a little. This is a piece of jelly paper that got on there. Anyway, I love it. I thought it was so much fun, and it gives you ideas for things. Oh, I like that. I want to do that more. Oh, I don't like that. Don't want to do that more. But
Yeah. Tanya would love this. I think she will love this.
yeah,
She will.
it's just a lot of fun to do. And so my second one I decided to do in my black journal. This is my
Ooh. Yes. I saw those. I was like, oh, I have a black journal.
well,
I want to work in that too.
I'm using this in the this is my black, Zentangle book. And then I started my black and white just because book in it. So this is
Yeah.
my black and white just because book in the back of it. But I decided I had to do it on black, which I really like a lot. So
Oh, I just
I
think that's
started the
gorgeous.
same way in this case. I started with white at the bottom. So where you can't see the white, where it's not real clear, that's a crayon marker. One of those crayon markers that write on everything. Let's see if I can get it right here. It's right here.
Like a wax pencil or like a
Yes,
distress
yeah,
marker?
China marker.
China markers. I have those. Yeah.
A Sharpie China marker. Yeah.
I'm writing that down too because I'll forget to use it if I don't see it.
Well, I did it on some of them and I didn't do it on others. So on the others, I got a kind of a fatter Posca. So the
Yeah. Well, I
underlying,
figure, you know, it might be fun to pick 5 and do a page and then pick 5 other things and do a page or 10 or whatever. and not
Yeah.
use the same thing all the time. And
Right.
so that's why
Right.
I was writing down lists of things that I thought would be fun to use.
Right. Well, the thing about the China marker, of course, is that it makes it resist,
Yes,
and
that's
that's kind of fun. So it's not as stark a white against the black, but it makes that resist underneath the paint. On this one, I used my gouache paints, so the gouache looks good on,
it
shows up
really
on black,
does.
but acrylic would too.
That I wouldn't have even thought to use black till I saw that, but now I have to. I have to do some in a black book too because it's
I
just
know.
gorgeous.
Or I mean,
So
Lisa, just a black piece of cardstock. Why not?
yeah.
If we don't have black books,
Well,
yeah,
I have a
Teresa.
black book. It's the only reason and I haven't done
Oh yeah,
anything in it. So
yeah. So, yeah, Teresa, a dark blue China marker would
well,
be
that'd
pretty
be
against
great, wouldn't it?
that,
That'd be great. Yeah,
but it'd be pretty
yeah.
against blue too.
It would be.
So
But
anyway,
you
I
could
know
use
one of
cream
my
paper. I mean, this paper's not that I'm using in this book is not white. It's cream colored.
go back to both of us now.
This is cream color paper. My camera's really dark today. I don't know what's going on here. I think it's because I've got light colored stuff in the background. But this is really thin paper though, so I decided, and it's not going well. So I may change my mind and not use this book. But
Oh yeah,
I was gonna glue in pages together. So I may really change my mind about what I'm doing. But I do want to show you the book, the black book I've got that I will work in. Um, and then I may get a white book that's just mixed media paper to use. But I
yeah,
got one of these,
yes, I have one of those too.
and I have um, never done anything in it.
Oh well, there
It's
you
still
go.
pristine.
Well, isn't that you'd have some great fun with grid journaling on those pages?
Yeah, yeah. I think it will be good. So
Yeah.
I'll put some grids in here, and I'll find something else because I can tell already that's not going to work. It's not going to make me happy.
No, the thinner paper won't make you as happy as the thicker. I mean,
Mm.
this is a delusions book also. So it's
Yeah,
like that. It's like that same paper that
like
you've got
yeah.
right there in your black journal. It's thick. It's really thick, like a file folder size thick. But you know what? She's not making these anymore. I'm so sad.
She's not making
I
any more videos about it, or
No, she's not making these books anymore. I can't get them anymore.
oh yeah.
So what I've done is taken apart, those big dilutions books that have the 9
Uh-huh.
by 12. I've taken those pages apart and folded them over and made my own little drawing book
Well, there you go.
for next year. Yeah.
Let me find it, Julie, and show you because um it's not as thick as like watercolor paper, but it's thicker than sketch paper, mixed media paper. It's just stiffer. I'm trying to find. I have like several of those. Oh, maybe this is one of them. It probably is watercolor paper, and I'm gonna make an avalanche, and then it not even be what I want. No, it is watercolor. I can tell from that. I can tell from that. Okay. Well, here's something. Maybe I'll use this because I don't have another use for it. I got it at the thrift store. It says oil pastel and colored pencil, Bristol vellum surface paper. So maybe this is kind of like what Teresa's talking about. She has something that says it's vellum paper.
The Bristol vellum is just a really good hard uh surface. It's not a vellum actually. It's not clear.
It
It's
just
like
means it's
it's
smooth.
like the dilutions paper. It's good paper.
But yeah, this is sturdy. I'll do this. This will be good. And I'll just do, instead of a spread, I'll just do a one page at a time for this book.
Uh-huh.
And Mindy wants to know what you drew your grids with.
Oh, I was telling you at the beginning, I bought one of those comic book kits that has little grids in it like this, but it was too small for my page. I didn't get enough on it. So I enlarged it on my computer and made them bigger. So that's what I'm going to use. And it's like really flimsy, you know. It's not going to hold together very good, but it works. Mm. But also, as Lisa was saying, you can just pick anything that you've got, and it doesn't have to be that good because you can erase it or
Cover it up.
cover it up.
um, I, I'll give you my list of things I wrote, and you can tell me if you think some of them won't work. Some of
I
them
think
are like prompts, and
everything
some of
would
them are
work.
supplies. But scribble, scraps, washi tape, texture, color, stripes, circles, dots, Posca pen, Stabilo all or oil pastel, distress crayons, squiggly circles, book page or map page or music paper. Um, and I'm talking about little bits of those. Marks, white and or black, jelly print bits, craft paper, brown or green, paint, acrylic or watercolor, whatever, a stencil, gesso, white or black, ink tints, whatever kind of ink tints you have, tea bags or coffee filter, fabric and lace, and china marker. Those are the 22 different things I have.
Pencil.
Pencil. Wow.
Yeah, I'm
That,
just using a pencil to draw my squares, Mindy. Yeah, that list sounds great. I mean, it's like any supply that you have.
but I thought if I at least have this, I can look over at it and go, oh, let's do that, you know.
Right.
And if we wanted to, we could, I've got them numbered, so we could choose a number and go that way. But that's, not necessary. It's just, I numbered them because it makes it easier for me to see which one is what. I need to rewrite them or maybe type them something so that they're easier to see than all squiggled up on here.
But also, if you just think about the journaling by five prompts, I mean, we just watched Beth doing a J
Yeah,
by five again. Um, if you think of the journaling by five prompts, it's the same. You can use the same kind of idea. So
that's true.
in J by five, it was to splash paint over all the blocks. And actually, I just watched Karen Burchill, one of her videos. She started with three colors of paint that she wanted to use. That's what she started with. So in J by 5 you start with color, and then you add collage, and then you add, let's see, what's the third one, then you add
Stamps and stencils.
stamps and stencils. Yep. Yep. And then a focal point, and then doodles. So it's all of our processes have all of these tools that we have piled up around us and getting in our way. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, Mindy, we're doing this Thursday. It looks like
Thursday
we're
at
doing this right
1:30.
now too.
Do what?
Looks like we're doing it right now too.
Well, I'm just making grids.
I'm going to see if I can get.
Just because I'm listening and enjoying talking to you, and I'm just doing this while I'm listening. Actually, I'll take it in the house and do some more. Um,
There's Beth Schuler. Hi, Beth Schuler.
hey Beth, long time no see.
Beth, did you show your J by 5 pages today before I got on? I got on late to Lisa's stream. Hi, Jacqueline.
I don't think she did show them, but she should have. That would have been a good idea.
See, I think I want to get a different. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a piece of black cardstock because I am kind of wanting to work on these square grids. So I've got this gridded place on white in my journal. And then I'm going to get me a piece of black cardstock.
Are you okay to stay on a bit, or do you need to get off and talk to Teresa about her hat? Because I didn't want to take you away from doing that. If
Teresa, do you want to meet about your hat? Because I promised Anne at 2:00 my time I'd come on and read chat for her on her stream. So that's the time I'm working with. She's got to quit working and work on her hat. She keeps putting it in the wrong stitches.
oh,
Teresa. she's available anytime. Well, why don't we plan to finish up in about 15, about quarter till.
that's fine.
About quarter till, and then Teresa and I can Zoom a little, or can message with the camera on for a little bit and talk about hats. There was a lady here that, spun yarn and made hats and sold them in the fairs around
Uh-huh.
town. And she sold so many, and she had such a large quantity of product moving out of the door that she needed people to help her, so she would pay me to knit her hats for her. So she had a basic pattern that she used, and I knit the hat to the basic pattern, and then she felted it. And they were the prettiest hats. I never did buy one of them from her. I couldn't afford them. Oh,
Well, you
Brenda,
could.
just hang on. What is Lisa going to do with the grid? Let me show you what I have
Hi,
done.
Brenda. Yeah,
Brenda,
we're gonna Thursday at 1:30. We're gonna be doing that.
we're going to do grid journaling, Brenda. And there's
And I'm just
earlier in chat, there's a link to the lady that I think is the one who originated it.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm used to me doing that. I'm not used to you doing that.
Oh, yeah. So, my plan when I was doing this, I had the paint out, and so I used all the paint that was left to make marks.
Uh-huh.
I thought, now I need to doodle on top of this. But I had thought I would cut these up and use them on this one, but I didn't. But see, it's all like in the same colorway, so it would really go with it together.
Yeah, it would. You have to do that colorway again.
I might have to. I might have to. A lot, Julie. I'm answering your question on Google. Look up Traveler's Notebook Journal inserts and see if anything comes up. A lot comes up. I've bought them, and the paper is like wussy. It's not, these dilutions pages. Well, actually, this is one of the wussy ones. See how wussy that is?
Oh yeah.
So I've already gone through and gessoed all these pages to kind of thicken them up a little bit, but they're still a little wussy. So I just really like the dilutions. Let me get that book I have here. This is my book I've started for next year. I haven't put it together yet. But this is like a dilutions, the big 9x12 dilutions book.
Uh-huh.
See how it's like
Like
file
cardstock.
folder. It's like your black notebook, Lisa. It's like file folder thick.
Yeah.
So that's going to
It's
be
really nice paper.
It is nice paper. It's really easy to work on. So this is going to be my everyday journal for next year. One of you all were teaching this. So now I have this to put in my journal. Like
Very cute.
Isn't that cute? Anyway. That's for next year. So yeah, I like the different. So anyway, Julie, to answer your question, these Delusions books by Diane Reevely, Ranger and Diane Reevely, they used to come in every size and shape, black and dotted and everything, but they're not around anymore. Maybe they're retooling them and they'll come back out. The trouble with most is will be thin paper. That's right. So I have a whole stack of traveler's notebooks that I've bought, hoping for the best, and been disappointed. So I think they might end up being giveaways. I don't know.
That Mary Ellis, um, when she does she makes a grid like what you have. Um, I mean a template, so she can
Oh,
draw inside the square instead of outside.
mm-hmm.
And I can see how that would probably be easier.
Well, making a template
But
like
I'm
a little slide, you could take a little slide box. Teresa, do you want some of these? I could send them to you.
well, I'm doing fine with this, but I can see how it would be easier to, trace inside, especially when it's a full sheet and you just set it up there and then trace them all at once.
Yeah. Yeah. Julie, what I've done is take apart they're still making the Delusions. I have a big Delusions book. So what I did was take, they have really nice pages and they're all stitched in. So you just take, like right there is 4 pages. You just take these pages out and cut them to the right size. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy, next time I can get a coupon for Michael's or something, I'm going to buy a whole Delusions book just to use forever.
Yeah.
Hi, Cal.
Teresa says she loves giveaways. She would take one.
Teresa, you'd like one? I'll send you more than one. I'm going to write myself a note. I'm going to write myself a note.
Oops. Hey, Pam. Good to see you, crocheting and lurking. We're glad you're here.
All right.
I know this doesn't look anything like spinning with Beth. if you came in after Beth left, we did spin at the beginning.
It's called the grazing principle.
That's right.
We were grazing into the next pasture. Oh, God.
We moved on when Beth got tired. So,
Hey, Sherry.
hi, Sherry.
Hey, Pam. Crocheting and lurking.
Yep. I would have to be lurking if I was crocheting too. It's hard to stop and I'm trying to see how many of these will fit.
Well, one thing I want to do definitely is do like a watercolor sheet, because I like to make tags out of watercolor paper.
Uh-huh.
And so put the put the grid on a big watercolor sheet.
That would be great. I just realized I've been putting these on the back, but I shouldn't put them on the back because then I can take this out and do anything with it. Since it's a spiral, I won't mess up the book to take them out.
Right. True.
So I may not do them on the back anymore after this. But I think it's going to be a really fun idea, and
It's a
I'm
lot
looking
of fun.
really looking forward to it.
It's like a mini journaling by fives. If you think about each one of these as a page, so here's 4 by 3, 12 pages.
Yeah.
my journaling by 5 on 12 pages right there.
That's fast and easy.
But we don't set
It,
any timers.
yeah. It would be fun to do journaling by fives on something like this just to see how much, you wouldn't need 15 minutes for each
No.
thing. But it would be interesting to do it that way, and that would be a good way to introduce that concept because it's not as intimidating as trying to do 20 pages.
Oh, look at Kelly's question. Does anybody
Is
remember
it?
the name of the craft that has 9 pocket clear sheet and each pocket has a tiny gift and the center pocket is a note or letter? It's a
Pocket
letter page.
letters.
Pocket letters. There you go.
Yeah.
I knew Lisa would know.
I have never done a pocket letter, but I've seen people do them and I think they're cool. Yeah, it was with the baseball cards. That's right. But they're called pocket letters. Yeah.
It kind of looks like what Becky did. You know, Becky probably has done this and she's probably called it grid journaling and we probably never quite got it until today. You know what I mean?
Or she may
Somebody,
have called it something else.
she may have called it something else.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought to call it grid journaling if you hadn't called it that. If I looked at it, I don't know what I would have called it, but I wouldn't have thought to call it that,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
if it wasn't already out there in the universe.
I know.
But
I know. But then you look
anyway,
for it and a bunch of people are out there playing with it and having a lot of fun.
and you're like, "Oh, okay, I need to do this too."
I know.
All
Well,
right,
I've been kind of in a slump. I haven't felt like doing like a real journal page or anything, even though I have plans for doing things and I know what I kind of want to do and all that stuff. I just kind of like full moons. I've been wanting to do a journal page on the full moon every month. Yeah, right.
yeah.
That lasted 2 months. now, now I'm 2 full moons behind. Knock off the always a failure box. Check off the always a failure box.
Now.
I know. But I don't. I have great plans and then I don't do it squat with them.
Well, I understand. I'm I am the queen of not finishing stuff because I
Oh,
get bored and I want to move on to something else.
right. Right.
Ooh, I like it already, and all I'm doing is putting a grid on it.
Well, this is fun because it really jump starts. You know, now I have plans to do at least 2 more of these, and probably more because I use a lot of tags. I send tags out. I call them bookmarks, but I send them out with birthday cards and note cards and stuff like that because it's just fun to send stuff out. So I'll make a whole watercolor page with tags like 2 by 4 inches, like that size,
Yeah,
and and but do them this way and then cut them apart.
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I do too. I think it's a marvelous idea. So anyway, that's what's going to happen on Thursday when we get together. I'm going to get that going. Journaling by shapes. There you go. And I definitely need to make some circles because that's fun. Yeah.
I'm having
Mini
fun
drawing.
already. Just drawing grids.
I know. So you're doing that with white? You're doing a white border?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm using the Signo
Oh yeah.
pen.
Uniball. Yeah.
Uh huh.
Oh, Lisa, we're gonna have fun with this.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, I gotta get me a black page. That's what I gotta get me. I was gonna do that. Now where is it?
But having these and being able to mix them up works good because my pages are not like 8.5 by 11, and they're odd sizes. So I just do what fits good on the page. Because like on here, I couldn't do 4 of these.
Right.
But if I put the smaller one underneath it, you know, or over here, it's above it. But
Or
you have to kind of change your mind a little bit. You have to think differently a little bit to do it on black paper as opposed to do it on white paper because your background is so different. But I think that'll make it fun.
well, I got influenced by Miss Lena from Denmark to buy the gouache paints.
Uh huh.
Now, of course, they're getting dry in the pan. All these gouache
Yeah.
paints.
Well, they will reconstitute,
I
but it
know.
takes a while.
Yeah.
Hannah's decided she's got a big deal of them, and she's decided she wants to buy them in tubes because
Mm-hmm.
that's just she doesn't like having to reconstitute them all the time because it takes a while. You can't just put water on them and use them like you can watercolor.
Yes. Yes. It does.
So,
Okay, so what do
in
I want
fact,
to rid
I'm
out?
thinking she may have some. I may bring it out to work on this because um, if I'm right and she has some, that would be. Of course, I could probably add a lot of water to her what she's got right now and bring it out if she doesn't have um the tubes yet. Do you
Look what I
have small gel plate shapes? You could use them for the backgrounds and build on it. Yeah, you could.
yeah, you could.
Yep,
Look what
yep.
I just found. These would be great on top of these little things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The bad thing about this white pen is it has to dry longer.
Yeah.
So I can't just flip the page and draw them again. But I'm also probably going to need it to do, I have a white Posca pen too, and I think somewhere I have a white charcoal pencil, and I do have a white wax pencil somewhere. I have a white Stabilo. I could use that on the here. So I'm gonna, have to think a little bit differently. But I definitely love the way the black it looks on the black. So Teresa posted another picture, but she thinks she needs more than 2 rolls. Mm, I'm gonna
Teresa,
go
in
look
about
real quick.
5 minutes, should we meet on Messenger camera? Does that work for you? Can you do that?
Oh, I did see that picture. I didn't realize. I thought you meant you had already done some more. Okay. Yeah. No, you said you posted another picture. Why did I not see another picture? Well, I will go look for it when we get off here in just a second. Way to use up your small fussy cut things too. Yeah, you could do that too.
Yes, it's a good way.
Um, is it the Mary Ellis that she does the abstract part and then she adds in something recognizable?
Yes.
That's the one she did with owls. She drew in owls. That's
Yeah,
the only
one
one
of them
I've
I
seen
think she
like
made
that. But
sheep. Yeah. Teresa, where did you post your other picture? I saw eyes. I see a hat. But that's the hat you showed before, right?
Yeah, I've already commented on that one, so I know it's the old one. I can't find the new one.
Where'd you post
Did you
it,
post
Teresa?
it in my group or somewhere else? Anyway, we're just giving you a little bit of thinking about for Thursday in case y'all want to play along. It's with extra layer. Oh, that's different. She says she put it in my group.
I didn't see it. Huh. Well,
I didn't
I'm
either.
gonna. Since I promised Teresa, I feel like I
Yeah,
should
we
get
need to
off
go.
of here. I'll make some gridded papers and be ready for you on Thursday,
All righty. Me
Teresa.
too.
And I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here for now, and look forward to hanging out with you guys some more on Thursday.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
And
Love you all.
tomorrow,
See you later.
you're gonna be there
I'll be here
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to finish my new everything book tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'll go beyond that or not. But
Okay.
anyway,
Okay.
love
I'll
you
see
all. Bye
y'all in a
bye.
little bit, and come see Ann Lair's channel at 2, or
At 2.